Okay, yeah. So, namaste all. Today we will discuss Ashtanga Yoga and Sandhyo-Pasana. We are quite familiar with these terms. Particularly, we are more comfortable or we are using the term Sandhya more for what originally was called Sandhyo-Pasana. If you look at the book authored by Maharishi Dayanand, title is Panch Mahayajya Vidhi. Maybe I will show you that book also. The soft copy PDF, I have it, and you will see the title is Sandhyo-Pasana. So let us look at it. What is the difference between Sandhya and Sandhyo-Pasana? Not much difference. This is a compound word. Putting two words together, Sandhya plus Upasana. So Sandhya is something everybody is familiar with. This is also basically a compound word with a prefix some. This should be, half sound. Sorry for this. This is not total ma, it is some. Otherwise, the way it is written is sama. So anyway, what is called halant, there should have been here. There is a typo problem here. So sam is for something which is done samyak pakar, means well done, properly done. And the next term is dhyan. Dhyan is nowadays translated as meditation in English, but let's keep it as dhyan, because dhyan is also a technical term in the sense in Indian languages you will hear कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, may I have your attention please. That time we don't say meditation, it is paying attention. And the term dhyan is Ashtanga Yoga, is a technical term which is not attention, but it is, in English we translate it as meditation. So in Indian languages the term dhyan is in day-to-day usage for applying your mind, thinking. So, you are thinking and absorbing something. But when we go into Ashtanga Yoga, we will see it. Dhyan is getting rid of everything from our mind, cleaning up, is it not? Making it towards blank. And just, of course, one thing is there, but that is a kind of an image, and I am not quite processing it, I am not thinking over it. So these are technicalities, very important. If you miss them out, you will not be able to practice meditation properly, isn't it? That's the problem we see in the world today. People say they are practicing meditation, but actually they are not. They are just in outer yoga, you will see it. Sandhya has another meaning that originates from something that should be done in Sandhi Vela. Sandhi Vela is 2 times a day, the confluence of morning and evening, the night and day, is it not? So at the time of the sunrise in the morning and later in the evening when sun is setting down. So Sandhya has twofold meaning: proper meditation, when to be performed, twice a day at the meeting of the day and night. So that is the meaning of Sandhya. Now the term Upasana, this is also a compound word, but with a prefix. Like some was a prefix, it was not quite a word. Prefix in Sanskrit grammar is called upsarg, So up is for nearby, very close to it. And asan is, you are familiar with the term, asan meaning to be seated. So upasana literally means to be seated. To be seated with whom? Of course, by default, if nothing is specified, Upasana means to be seated with Ishwar, who is omnipresent everywhere here. But here I must spell out, Upasana has a very wide connotation. Wide connotation, not that you can have any other meaning than what I have described, but it is a faculty of exploration, so to say. In what sense? We are familiar with the terms karma and jnana, action and knowledge, is it not? So, what is the meaning of karma? Karma is any action, any activity. A child is learning to play tennis, learning to swimming, learning to ride a bicycle, and artistic work, artwork, things like that. It has very wide connotation. And jnana, knowledge, of course, has very wide connotation. We have elementary schools and high schools, college, universities, internet, all kind of libraries. We have so many things, all are related to knowledge acquisition. So action and knowledge, karma and jnana, are two very wide faculty of our pursuits. Similarly, Upasana is also a very wide ranging pursuit. It's a very wide faculty. How do you explain it? So, we are a composite of body, mind, and soul. So, when we talk about karma, our soul, the self, is engaged with both body and mind. Body is like I am walking. So, if I am playing tennis, of course, my body limbs are moving, isn't it? So, an easy way to look at it, the faculty of karma involves your body as well as mind. Faculty of knowledge, jnana, involves less of the body. Of course, you are reading a book, your eyes are functioning, but more is your mind is functioning, mind is engaged. So, body is much less engaged, but mind is greatly engaged. So, we are going inward from action, karma, to knowledge, jnana. Now you can imagine the faculty of Upasana. So, faculty of Upasana deals with the interface of the self and mind. So, how come? So, like the book of Sankhya is primarily about faculty of Upasana. So, it deals with how did my mind come together with myself. बंध मुझे कैसे, how did I get into bondage? So even that link between the self and mind is to be understood, to be explored and pursued. And then what all is happening at that interface? And then how can I quieten my mind? That is the particular thing we will be discussing today. So that also falls within the discipline of Upasana. How can I make my mind absolute quiet so that I can disconnect from my mind? And then I will be with him, isn't it? So Upasana, don't look at it just sitting for 20 minutes for Upasana. Upasana is a very wide faculty. So Sandhyo-Pasana meaning सम्यक प्रकार से किया गया ध्यान जो उपासना में सफल होवे. I hope you understand it. Sandhyo-Pasana meaning a well-performed meditation that helps me connect with him. So I must quieten my mind and then delink from my mind, then I will find with him, myself with him. So that is the correct meaning of the term Sandhyo-Pasana. Of course, then we will say to a lay person how to motivate him for Upasana. Everybody by default, even by birth, we are engaged in karma and jnana, action and knowledge. and for which we have 5 sensory organs for knowledge and 5 motor organs for action. Now, this is by default, the whole world is running around. Everybody is busy 24 hours, either in action or in knowledge, and when they get tired, they go to sleep, isn't it? That's what a typical person's life is all about. Sorry. But our rishis were very, very smart. They realized that the purpose of action and knowledge is to derive happiness. The bottom line is, I want to lead a happy life, isn't it? Everybody is pursuing the path to become happier and happier. But it is not that simple. The pain, misery, and suffering, they do strike us, whether we like it or not. There is nobody in the world who will say, I have never gone through a painful phase of life, isn't it? Pain and misery and suffering, whether you like it or not, whether you plan for them or not, they come after you one way or another. If nothing else, we get hungry after a few hours, or we get thirsty after a few minutes, isn't it? So hunger and thirst are most common pain and suffering. Of course, we plan for that. We buy groceries for the whole week, so on and so forth. We plan many things, but still there are a lot of kind of pains. They come to us unannounced, unwanted, uninvited, isn't it? But our rishis noticed one thing. They found that when you go to sleep, and sometimes we have good luck, we have deep, dreamless sleep, isn't it? And when you wake up from that in our rishis gave that a specific name. They called it Sushupti. So Sushupti means well slept. Sushupti, that is the Sanskrit word. The prefix is Su for good. Supt means slept. So Sushupti will mean well slept. So that I am translating here in the first line as profound sleep. So they noticed, and we all will vouch for that, isn't it? Once in a while, we wake up from deep, dreamless sleep called profound sleep, and we feel that was good. Why was it good? Firstly, no pain or misery I felt, no nightmare, nothing went bad. It was so good, isn't it? So they noticed that profound sleep is an event even in the layperson's life, and he knows it. This is void of pain. So they came up with an idea. This is how the term Upasana was originating. They came up with an idea. If in the daytime I can quieten my mind to that extent that I found in profound sleep, when there were no dreams, absolutely blank mind, if I can generate that state of my mind in the daytime, then I will at least that time frame, those 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes will be counterpart of profound sleep. And then they said, that is what is Upasana, aiming to get that state of mind. So that is Upasana, and that has been covered in Sankhya. Sankhya is the predecessor of the book on Yoga by Patanjali. And then something had to be elaborated, and that came out, Patanjali's famous book on Yoga. Nowadays, outside this, our Zoom session, if I use the term Yoga, people understand as body postures, exercise, some sort of movements, and so on and so forth. At most, some sort of regulated breathing pattern. But that all you know it. I think all of us present here know it, That is Hatha Yoga, not to be confused with Yoga. Yoga is a book written by Patanjali, and as I will show you later, he defines it as Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So yoga is a faculty of science to make your mind absolutely quiet, isn't it? And it has nothing to do with body postures, etc. So anybody, he may have big beard, he may have different colors of his robes, whatever it is. He may call Hatha Yoga as Yoga thousands of times, but don't believe him. Hatha Yoga is Hatha Yoga. Please, if you are not clear about this, you will not understand ABC of Upasana, isn't it? So this should be very clear. The treatises, we are very, very proud of Sankhya, authored by Kapil, and Yoga, authored by Patanjali. They deal with Upasana, the soul-mind interface, and how to quieten the mind. Any body posture, any body movement, any body exercise, therapeutic thing, anything for health benefit, physical health, all that is Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is on this extreme, Yoga is on the other extreme. They have no connection. It is like salt and sugar. They are two different things. Please, that I think in Arya Samaj almost everybody knows it, but still I like to clarify it. So Upasana has been covered, and what is the benefit? So not going into details, Maharishi Dayanand writes in Satyat Prakash is very short sentence. उपासना से क्या लाभ है कि मनुष्य का गुण कर्म स्वभाव ईश्वर जैसा हो जाता है. Such a powerful statement. What he is saying is, as you practice upasana, qualitatively you will become like Ishwar. So that's what it is, Ishwar Upasana. And then he gives an example. The example is a black piece of iron rod or iron, ball. If you throw it into heated coal furnace, the coal furnace is red hot. What will happen to that iron ball? That will also become red hot in a few minutes. And then you cannot identify where is the iron ball. It's all alike. So that's what he says. लोहे की भट्टी, कोयले की भट्टी में लोह पिंड जैसे लाल हो जाता है, वैसे आप ईश्वर जैसे हो जाते हैं. That is the power of upasana. But it's all lost, isn't it? Yoga has become Hatha Yoga, and Sandhya is now just, even in our Samaj, I don't want to blame anybody, but we just recite a few mantras, it is missing that upasana component. So today, if time permits, I want to close this session with a practice part also. How to integrate upasana with Sandhya so that it actually becomes Sandhyo-Pasana. Let's move on. This should be clear to all of us. When you talk about upasana, Ishwar upasana, natural, obvious question arises, how are we away from him? When you say he is omnipresent, then how can I be away from him? Unless I am aware from him, why should I make an attempt to get to him? If I am not away from him, why should I do upasana at all? This is the obvious question anybody would ask. You say, everybody says, our rishis are saying, Ishwar sarvyapak hai. He is present everywhere. Then how can I be away from him? I should be asking this question to those rishis, is it not? So, there is one very clear statement that we have to understand. There is only one place I can meet him. Isn't it? So all the religions are misguiding us. There is no so-called place of worship. There is no so-called place of worship. So one who attends Arya Samaj, he has to be very clear about it. Upasana cannot be translated as worship at the first place. Upasana is not puja. Upasana, I have defined the faculty of Upasana, and finality of Upasana is I am with him. I am with him. जैसे वो लोह पिंड, लोहे का गोला जैसे कोयले की भट्टी में लाल हो जाता है. That way I have to become like Ishwar for at least those moments. Nothing less than that. So, the question is, there is only one place where I can meet him. That is very obvious answer. Because Ishwar is everywhere, but I am not everywhere. So there is only one place I can meet him where I am existing. Isn't it? I don't have to go to a mandir, masjid or girja. I just can meet him only at one place. And that one place is where I am residing. And I reside as a point in the prefrontal cortex, just behind this, my forehead. That is where I am residing. I am a point like singularity, light of consciousness. And that's where my mind is, then this brain and all the body structure. So there is only one place I can meet him. Please don't get misguided by anybody in this world. This is a common sense. There is only one place in the world where I can meet Ishwar, and that place is right here. Our Jitendra ji sings very good bhajans. I have heard him singing, Banaye Man Mandir Alishan. This is the only mandir where I can meet him. Isn't it? But why don't I meet him? I am there at this point, at prefrontal cortex, and Ishwar is there, but why am I not meeting him? Why am I not in Upasana? Because I am by default connected to my mind. So although Ishwar is there, I don't get to see him because I am focused on seeing my mind, what is called buddhi. Isn't it? So what happens? I have to disconnect from buddhi, then I will be with him. But you cannot disconnect from you cannot get out of your car if it is running at 60 miles per hour, isn't it? You have to find a right place to stop it, park it, and then you alight from the car. In the same manner, you have to quieten your buddhi first. Bring it to an absolute still. Then you disconnect from buddhi, and then you are with him. It's very simple, isn't it? The truth is always simple, but there are people who will confuse you again and again. So that's what is the next slide about. So the word yoga is very simple. Yoga is to join. बचपन में भी हमें 2 और 3 का योगफल 5 है. योगफल, योग के बाद जो फल आया, तो when you add 2 and 3, the sum total is called as yogfal. Yog meaning putting together. So the term yoga is very simple. being with him, isn't it? And then he had more prescriptions. I will not go into those technicalities. One of them is Ashtanga Yoga. So yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Right at the outset, he defines yoga as chitta vritti nirodha. Now if you are expert in Sankhya, the second chapter of Sankhya is talking about mind. Whole chapter is on mind. Yoga is more about mind control. But as I said, Sankhya is very wide coverage. Very wide coverage. You cannot imagine anything which is out of Sankhya. Yoga is more focused on mind control. Yoga doesn't even care to tell you what chitta is. Because to study yoga, prerequisite is Sankhya. And if you study Sankhya, second chapter, mind is said to be three components. If this is me, I am observing my mind in this black box which is placed in the prefrontal cortex, then I am observing a screen. I call it as buddhi. It's just like the laptop ahead of me. Even a laptop is just like our mind, so to say, metaphorically. You are observing a screen in front of you. Imagine this is your buddhi. And just behind buddhi is the memory device. Just like in your laptop, whatever is shown is coming from its hard disk or cache memory, is it not? The memory is the heart and soul of the computer. And then the third unit is inlet and outlet ports. So you have on the sides all kinds of ports. Outlet port goes to a printer. Inlet port you can put your phone or DVD, or you can send in a kind of a drive, pen drive, all kinds of inlet ports and outlet ports. So that's what is buddhi, the memory device, and then manas is the 5 inlet ports for 5 sensory organs, 5 outlet ports for 5 motor organs. So what I call as mind in Sankhya is very much like a laptop computer. It's all scientific, isn't it? Now he used the 3 terms, buddhi, ahankara and manas. Not going into those terms, but what I'm saying is, he says we are equipped with 13 instruments. Buddhi, ahankara, manas, these are 3 components of mind, plus 5 sensory organs and 5 motor organs. 13 instruments. Now where is the chitta? Yoga is defined as chitta vritti nirodha, but Patanjali does not tell you what chitta is. And Sankhya second chapter tells you our 13 instruments are buddhi, ahankara, manas and 5 plus 5. What is chitta then? And that's what has caused all kind of confusion in the world, isn't it? But indirectly, in yoga treatise, and obviously in a very clear term in Sankhya, chitta is defined as what? Chitta is buddhi itself, is not a 14th instrument. And Maharishi Dayanand writes clearly in the 9th chapter of Satyat Prakash, 9th chapter, Navam Samullas. Buddhi and Chit Vijnanmay Kosh mein. He puts them together, Buddhi and Chit. And then he writes one more small sentence. चित्त स्मरण कहलाता है. चित्त is fetching the data from the memory. What does it mean? Now you look at whatever you do with buddhi, thinking, etc., it is based on, it utilizes your past data, is it not? Past knowledge. Without, if I have no visual image of Jitendra ji in my memory, this morning I cannot just look at him and say, Namaste Jitendra ji. How did I say it? Because I have his visual image in my memory. So as soon as I opened my Zoom, I saw his face. That is through my chakshu organ. It went up to this buddhi patal. That's where I am. And then I got a lot of information from my memory and compared this present image with my past images, and I concluded the gentleman in front of me is Jitendra ji, is it not? So anything you do at buddhi is thinking, and that thinking requires past data from the memory. But if you go on thinking and want to be in upasana, you can never be in upasana. It's like you are driving the car at 60 miles per hour and you are wanting to come out of it. That is not possible, is it not? So you have to first stop the car. So here, buddhi has an intermediate stage. It is no more thinking. First it has to stop thinking. And when it stops thinking mode, then it is called a chitta. So yoga is not defined as buddhi vritti nayod. If you just stop thinking, you are not in yoga, you are not in upasana. So you have to lower the functional mode of buddhi from buddhi to chitta. It has to transcend to its non-thinking mode, is it not? So buddhi in non-thinking mode becomes chitta. But even then it may display something, one thing or another. So let's do a small experiment now, very small. So with our eyes closed, let us close our eyes. Just 1 minute, 2 minutes we will do it. Just think about your mother. We all have a mother or had a mother. And those who are fortunate, their mother is still in the world, isn't it? Just bring the picture of your mother on your mind screen and think about her or any event that you witnessed, which includes your mother. Okay, that was first part of the experiment. You have done it and you have seen it, what was happening inside. Now we will do the second time, the same thing. Again, bring the picture of your mother on the mind screen. But this time, you want to feel deeply about her love, is it not? You don't want to think anything. Now with that picture there, you don't want to think anything. Try to be in your non-thinking mode and get lost in your mother in that feeling, isn't it? Let's do it. We can do it. It's not impossible, is it not? Let's begin it. If not all of you, most of you probably notice the difference, isn't it? In experiment 1, we were thinking about our mother. In experiment 2, we were successful in cessation of the process of thinking. Yet there was an image of our mother on the mind screen, isn't it? If you were successful in that, then I will say you succeeded in transcending your buddhi to the level of chitta. So you have seen it, isn't it? It's very practical. It is not that only those who do upasana know it. I tell you, once in a while, every one of us, we sit relaxed, we want to be very relaxed, we don't want to go much into thinking, and then our buddhi automatically transcends to become chitta. Don't get afraid of these terms. These are real life issues, and that is nothing is outrageously fantastic. It's all, everybody is familiar with it. Nothing, and I will make it still simpler. So please don't bother about it if you didn't succeed in transcending your buddhi to chit. Everybody does it, and you will also be able to do it. This is Ashtanga Yoga. I think you are all familiar with it. There are 8 terms here, but I have broken them into 2 groups. This is very important. And this is not me I have broken into 2 groups. This is Patanjali has done it. And Patanjali has broken not only in 2 groups, he covers first 5 of them in chapter 2. And then he goes to 3rd chapter. Very unusual. He is talking about Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs. But after 5 limbs, he switches over to the next chapter. He changes the chapter. And then he says, these 3 limbs, namely Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, are Antang Yoga, Bhitri Yoga. You can say inner yoga. So by implication, the previous 5 limbs were outer yoga. What is the difference between Bahirang Yoga and Antang Yoga? This is where you do all these steps at the level of buddhi. And in order to enter into inner yoga, you don't even enter unless you have transcended your buddhi to chit. So that's why it says, hundreds of millions of people are practicing meditation. They call themselves as meditation. But you will be surprised. All meditation gurus in the world and all the books on yoga written in the English, Hindi or any language, they don't guide you to enter into inner yoga. They don't guide you. Because they themselves did not understand the difference between buddhi and chitta. They don't even care to define what chitta is. And they write 500 pages of book on yoga. So this much of false narrative, fake narrative is going on in the world in the name of upasana, in the name of yoga, in the name of meditation, mindfulness, whatever you call it. This is a very sorry state of affair. Outer and inner yoga, the core and crux is buddhi and chitta. If you don't know their difference, you may close your eyes and your mind is working as a buddhi. It is thinking. It is regulating your breathing. Pranayam, good. But that is an operation done with buddhi. Buddhi decides when to throw out air and when to. So when you are in pranayam, you are doing buddhi purva. You are in outer yoga. So this is a big challenge we have it. But let's proceed further. As I promised to you, it's very simple. Truth is very simple. That's what Rigveda says. Sugahana etasya pantha. The path of truth is the easiest path. So I show you a slide that buddhi and chit is something everybody knows. Let's look at this diagram, titled as Upasana Journey. Objective is to achieve a state of mind as it obtains in profound sleep. Absolute stillness, nothing happening. As I said, there is a horizontal line. Above this line, we are wakeful, 16 hours, 18 hours a day, whatever it is, when we are by default functioning in the intellect mode. And we are engaged in action, knowledge, and that what sometimes becomes experience. It is karma, jnana and bhog. That's typical person's life. But even typical person has to go to sleep. What happens? Then he goes in the lower the horizontal line. But he is on the left column. There are 3 columns. This is related to sleep. The central column is something, if you take like what those people do who are addicted to drugs, etc., or you have to go to a surgeon's operation table, then they administer anesthesia, or sometimes you have a critical injury, head injury, then you are out of mind for some moments, isn't it? So those instances are covered in the central column. Not very good, not good for health. And the right column is Upasana practice, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. But common man is familiar with all that is happening above the discontinuous line and the left column. He goes to sleep, rapid eye movement when we have vivid dreams, NIM, non-rapid eye movement. He has dreams but they are very faint. And if he has good luck on some day, he has deep dreamless sleep performed. So this part everybody is familiar with. And now I will tell you, there are occasions all of us have gone through. At our regular bedtime, we lie in bed, but we are unable to catch sleep. Is it not? Try to focus that instance. Or next time when you are going through that phase of some minutes, some hours sometimes, the mind is refusing. As in daytime it was active, even in you are lying in bed, it continues to remain active or overactive or even hyperactive. Why are you not able to catch sleep? The answer is your buddhi is not transcending to chitta, which normally happens automatically. That is nature's gift, is it not? On a normal day, you go to bed, you lie there, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, few minutes later, you are in sleep. How did it happen? Your buddhi transcending to chit. And then, if chit was showing something, that was dreams. If chit was blank, you had profound sleep, isn't it? So nobody in the world can say he does not know the difference between buddhi and chitta. Everybody knows it very well, is it not? Everybody knows it. You have to have that confidence, is it not? So that's where we are. So Maharishi Dayanand's recommendation, this is in his book called Rigvedadi Bhashya Bhumika. He says, to enter into dharana, he gives an example. जैसे नदी समुद्र में मिल जाती है, so smoothly you should be able to succeed in it. And then ओंकार का जप करें. The sound, that sound, Om, that sound has a name called Pranav. So that is his recommendation, which is originally from Patanjali. So this is not his original, this is from Patanjali. First chapter, I think the statement is 28. Tasya vachaka pranav tad japas tadat bhavana. But the jap is not to be misunderstood, because in dharana is chitta mode. So buddhi is not functioning, buddhi has, so your lips cannot move. So it has to be manasik jap. It has to be only buddhi doing that jap. And if buddhi is not thinking, it will automatically become jap by your chitta. And if something else comes in, you do the same thing again, jap. So let's do it, 3 minutes. 2 minutes of this short experiment. Very 2 minutes. I'll just put a timer of 2 minutes. Two-minute timer. Our eyes are closed. Mentally we recite. First we orally recite 3 times, and then we are in quiet mode. If something happens, mentally recite this sound. Let's do it 3 times, oral recitation. Om. Om. That was our 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. But I think you got a sense of it, How can we transcend buddhi to chitta level and make chitta blank? And if suppose something pops up from our memory, something is thrown back on the chitta, then we know how to get rid of that. We can mentally recite this sound again. So keep on doing it whenever state is disturbed. I know the time is running fast. I wanted to implement it with our usual Sandhya. So if you allow me 5 minutes extra, so it is 10:24 now. So if I take 11 minutes, we will go Sandhya on a fast track. Not that I want to go fast, but I want to show you how to make Sandhya as Sandhyo-Pasana. So, this is, I will setting a timer for say about 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And we are doing Sandhya together. After the Gayatri Mantra, we will take a break and do this until my phone rings, isn't it? What am I doing? After reciting the Gayatri Mantra in Sandhya, we will do real Upasana. Just the way we did it for 2 minutes. And that will make our Sandhya as Sandhyo-Pasana, isn't it? So I have this from our Samaj website. Unfortunately, yeah. So let's begin it. Actually, yeah. Okay. So we'll begin Sandhya as Maharishi Dayanand begins it with Sanno Devi Pishta. Okay, let's begin it. ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शयो अभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ वाक् वाक् ॐ प्राणः प्राणः ॐ चक्षुः चक्षुः ॐ श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ॐ नाभि ॐ हृदयम् ॐ कण्ठः ॐ श्रियः ॐ बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ॐ करतलकपिश्च ॐ भूः पुनः श्रियसि ॐ भुवः पुनः नेत्ययो ॐ स्वः पुनः कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनः पादयो ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः श्रेयसि ॐ खम्भं पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भूः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ एतं च सत्यं च विद्या तपसु अध्यजायत ततो रात्रजायत ततः समुद्रो ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधत् विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्य चन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वं कल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो ॐ शन्नो देवी अभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शयो अभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्यायिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रो धिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजि रक्षिता पितरीशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमःभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वर्णोऽधिपति कुक्षितान्नमिषव तेभ्यो नमो धिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वोजम्बे दद्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमो धिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिशवः तेभ्यो नमो धिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वो जम्भे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवा दिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्मा शग्रीवो रक्षिता वियुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमो धिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वोजम्बे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वा दिग्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः शुचो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमो धिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितिभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो वस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं दुष्मस्तं वोजम्बे दद्मः ॐ द्वयं तमसस्पै स्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्र सूर्यमघन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतव दिशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवा नामुदगादनीकं चक्षुरमित्यस्य वरुणस्याग्निम् आप्याद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्तु षश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्तात् शुक्रमुच्चयत् पश्येम शरदः शतं जीवेम शरदः शतं शृणुयाम शरदः शतं प्रभवाम शरदः शतमदीनः स्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Now we will insert for the remaining 4 minutes that package of Upasana. We will recite that pranam sound 3 times orally, and then we are attempting to be deep in meditation. If something pops up in your mind, mentally recite that sound and get rid of that. Let's begin it. 3 times oral recitation. Om ईश्वर दयानिधि भवत के प्यानीन जपु पासनाधिकर्मणम् धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षाणां सद्य सिद्धि भवेन्नम् ओम नमः शंभवाय च मयोभवाय च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ओम शांति शांति शांति. So thank you all for joining this session with me this morning. I will very strongly urge all of you to practice Upasana the way we did it, 5 to 10 minutes every day, if possible twice a day. And if you are doing Sandhya in your daily life, then integrate it the way we did it. Then please allow 15 to 20 minutes. That's what I can say. Very thank you again to all.